I made you as a host again, and I'm requesting for remote control. Okay, can you give the permission now? Okay, fine. Okay, guys. So now all set. Now let's move on. Yesterday, just to recap, right? So yeah, 20 minutes gone. So just to recap, yesterday we were discussing about the expression transformation, and we did learn about the ports. Okay, the kind of a ports. Okay, input port, variable port, and output port. Even we learned like what is that order of processing those ports. Okay, first input port, then the variable port, then the output port. Then we have seen what is the importance of the variable port and what is the necessity of using it. Okay, and even we have seen like what is the usage of that output port. Okay, and why we have to use that. Just to kind of a quick overview about the variable ports. So variable ports are used, okay, basically to easy kind of a development practice, and even to improve the performance in some aspects. Okay, the best example for that is you can perform a kind of a calculation, and you can use the same calculation in multiple places, and this will definitely results like so many complexities, okay, due to performance issues, whatever you are facing in the bulk data load processing. Okay, so that is about the expression transformation, and expression transformation do have some functions. Okay, and those functions includes like maybe there are different categories. Okay, data conversion functions, data handling functions, data uh, date functions, and even the character functions. Okay, string functions. So many different varieties of functions are available. Okay, depends on your logic, depends on your situation, you're supposed to use the respective function. Okay, now we are going to see, yesterday even we have seen like fixed width files, how to handle the fixed width files. I'm not sure like whether you guys practiced it or not. Okay, if you are able to load the data, then it's going to be good, or else like we you guys supposed to practice on this weekend and let me know if you're facing any issues. Clear, right, guys? Any issues or any questions on this one? I mean, first of all, anyone practice that yesterday's mapping? I don't think like except Satya anyone's doing also. That's okay. So today, what we are going to do is we do have a kind of a concept called indirect load. Even we discussed that yesterday. So when you are having a multiple files with the same structure, right? Basically, you are going to perform the indirect load. Okay. For that indirect load, normally we supposed to have a different kind of a format. So Vinod, I don't think you do have the files also, right?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
have, I
So
haven't practiced anything.
right. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly forward you the files so that I can download it.
Okay.
Let me forward the files.
Forwarding it in the group or mail?
The mail itself. What is your email ID? Vinod? I think you posted that right yesterday.
Vinutha.raj28@gmail.com.
No, man. You put that in. Okay. You're able to download these files and place it in the desktop.
Yeah.
Just give me 2 minutes. Let me get some water. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back. And even like, did I send you this target tables? Just no, right?
No. Since yesterday was my first class, I haven't received any documents from you.
Okay, that's okay. So maybe we'll try to create the lab part. And Vinita, I'm not creating any new folders. Maybe like you can start everything from scratch, okay? No, I'm trying to use the existing connections. Now, first thing is I need to bring the sources into the, you guys are able to hear me, right? Everyone? Team, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, Chaitanya.
Okay, fine. So now go to this computer and the files I believe in the downloads. Is it correct, Vinita? You place in somewhere else or desktop?
In desktop only I have placed.
Thank you. So now I'm choosing the files. Okay. So here I do, oh, one more.
I have unzipped it.
Hmm.
On desktop it is there.
Oh, okay.
It is there only.
You unzipped like a lab files, but you didn't unzip the flat files, right?
Yes, yes.
Fine. And one more thing, before you go to the this thing, right, try to observe the files, okay? So what I was talking about is kind of an indirect route. Each and every file will have the same structure. Okay, the only difference is you're going to have a multiple files. If you look at this thing, right? Customer central, customer east, customer west. Okay. So try to open each and every file and try to see the data.
Okay.
So here, dealership ID, region, customer number, first name, last name, right? And try to open the same way the other file also and try to compare what exactly these files are looking like. Okay, so this is the customer east file. If you observe this thing, same structure, dealership ID, region, customer number, first name, last name, and address, right? Now, so just have a look at this file and this file. Both are having same structure. Even there is another file, even that will have a same structure. Now, the way you put it is like always try to make sure there are no spaces in the directories names, at least, because it will get confused. Okay, fine. Now how you are going to build the kind of an indirect file with the pass. You remember yesterday we discussing about you have to create a file with only the file names. Okay, that one is like the kind of a customer list. So this is the file name. I built it. If you open this file, right, you can see it's having only the file names. But the ultimate goal is it's supposed to have a kind of a directory name as well, because it will get confused or else. Let me do one thing for the better viewing purpose. Open the Notepad++. Okay, so even I can see some gaps here. That's okay. Fine. Now this is what my file does. Okay, this is what my customer list file. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to process this file by using Informatica. It's in flat files. So first, what exactly I'm supposed to take is the structure. Okay, as the structure is same in all three files, I can pick any one of them. Okay, so maybe I'm picking a customer center. But just for naming kind of name, convenience of name, what I'm going to put is customer file list FL. Okay, and import the field names on the first line. And if you can observe, this is the comma delimited file. Okay, it's not a fixed width. That's why I'm leaving it as in delimited. Now I got my structure, and remember, I'm not going to take like all three. I'm taking only one specific file structure. Okay, and now I'm trying to build a kind of a target. Okay, target I'll explain later. Now I'm trying to build a mapping. Mappings create m underscore file list. Okay, now bring the source. Yes, please ask me the question if you have any. Now, I supposed to build a target. So before building the target, first you try to understand like what kind of a target structure you are going to have. Okay, and do you have any database, Vinita? Let me search quickly.
Yeah, I have one. That's okay. Now instead of waiting on database, so what I will do is I'll try to build a flat file itself as a target. So even there's going to be a kind of a showcase how to build a flat files dynamically.
Created. You can check it.
Even you create all the tables and everything.
No tables I haven't.
Okay, but you're saying like you created means
Like Oracle have installed, that's the thing.
that's okay. Now let's bring that expression transformation. I'm trying to bring everything into expression. See, either you can do one by one or all at once. Okay, that's your choice. Now, try to understand in the expression what exactly I can do. I'm having a first name and last name, but in the target, I would like to send only the name. Okay, even I'm having a age. Okay, so yesterday we have seen the logic, right? We need to derive the age group logic also. So these things I'm going to derive now. So how? Open the expression transformation. Go to ports. Okay, now first name and last name. So what I would like to derive is a full name. For that, I need to create a new port. Okay, and I need to move it little up. Now what I'm saying, I'm calling this one as full name. And make sure the precision should be the combination of first name and last name, or else it will truncate it. So this is 13 characters, 15 characters. So it has to be at least, okay, at least it has to be 28 characters. What I'm going to put is like a 50 characters. That's okay for me. And I'm making this as a output port. And anyway, I'm not sending this first name and last name to out. So what I'm trying to put is like a only input ports. Of course, is it a mandatory to do? It's
It's not mandatory. But for the output port, you should define it as an output port. Here, see different functions. So maybe in the first function is, so what kind of a function I have to do now? Because basically my intention is to concatenate them. So where I can see the functions, either you can see the functions in the character, like concat, okay? As I already used this multiple times, I can directly point it to character. But as you are first time using, what you have to do, just expand the all functions and try to see. Maybe it will be a little bit tough for the first few days, but then once you get to know, right, like so it is going to be easy. Okay, it's not that big task. And moreover, we are not going to use all these functions. Okay, very frequently functions, whatever we are using, right? So only those things. So anyway, it's a based on your practice, you can explain things. But interview perspective, at least you're supposed to have at least 5 to 10 functions in your mind. Okay, the basic function, what I can use is concat. You want to know the syntax of this one, right? Excuse me. If you want to know the syntax of this one, just select concat and you will know this thing. Okay, concat, the syntax is character 1 as a character 2 as a character, and returns char1 concatenated with the character 2. That is what a kind of a syntax. Now, try to build the logic. Just double click and you will get the concat function. Go to the ports, first name, comma, last name. Okay, what I'm trying to do, instead of first name and last name, I would like to give some space also. Then some space. Okay. Then last name. This one is clear, right, guys? Any questions on this one? Now validate this. So it's a parse error. Too many operands. Okay, it got confused. So what is this too many operands? Okay, so concat function can only perform this concatenation only with the two things. Okay, so what you are going to do is, instead of concat function, even I can use the pipe symbol. Okay, but let me show you one more scenario over here. Okay, now I'm concatenating only the two things. Then I'm concatenating last name. Braces close and use one of the. Instead of that, do I have any other logic? Yes. What is that? First name, use the pipe symbol, space. See, it's all your wish, guys. Okay, how you want to do this, but these are the different options. Okay, and do I have a feasibility of commenting the old one? Yes, put 2 single dashes. Okay, validate this. You can go either way. It's not going to make any difference. Ultimately, the full name is concatenation of this one. Now apply some more logic even on the age. Okay, I would like to derive age group. Can I able to copy paste the same port multiple times? Yes, here is a copy and paste. Now I'll get the same one, age, decimal, everything will be copied as it is, except the name. Only name it will come like one extra, because you cannot have 2 ports with the same name. So what I'm going to put over here is, I'm going to make it as a string. And the kind of a length is going to be 100. Now what exactly I'm going to derive from this one? Age group. Now I'm trying to use the decode function. Very, very important, guys, decode function. Okay. Now I'm evaluating the decode function to true. So first of all, what exactly the decode function is going to do? Any idea, guys? Yesterday we discussed. It is just like the if and else, okay, whatever we are using, right? So, but that if and else, okay, instead of using the if and else, okay, by using a decode, you are getting like a better performance. How? I'll tell you. Now, whatever the statements I'm going to write here, right? True. Okay, now every statement will be evaluated with the true. Okay, but in the if and else condition, right, it has to evaluate like each and every loop. Okay, so in that scenario, decode is going to give the better result compared to the if and else. Okay, so maybe like it's kind of a switch kind of a statement. If you remember like the OOPS concepts. So what I'm saying here is, so if whatever the statement like a decode, if age, whatever the age is coming from the source, is less than 20. Okay, I'm calling it as a just like an age. Okay, so if not, age is greater than 20, maybe what I will put is to make it like more sensible, less than or equals to. And these are the logical operator, guys. Okay, and or age is greater than or equals to 50 or 40. Okay, now I can call it as a relation. That's it. Let's leave it with the two groups. I don't get like much. Maybe to make it more sense, right? Let's put it like 30. And let's put it as exactly. Fine. So now just validate this thing. Okay. Now what exactly I'm doing, even if you're having like 100 statements, right? You can put it so it's not a matter. But if and else, right, there's going to be going into kind of a loops and it's going to create a problem. So that's the reason I'm always try to avoid the if and else. If anyone asks you like what are the performance tunings you performed on the expression transformation, right? You can explain this way. Like instead of using if and else statements, basically we are using a decode function. That is one of the best performance activity you can see. Now click on OK. Now, and even for the age, right, it's not going to be out. So let's make it as a kind of an input put only. Now, I don't see any kind of an option or like maybe kind of a necessity of using variable put. But still, if you want to use any kind of a variable put, right, I can definitely use a variable put. I will show you maybe another example, but here I'll just try to show you how to create a variable put. It's just like the same output put what we created, but only difference is I'll show you. Temp underscore where variable put. You have to define this as a variable put. When you define it as a variable put, it won't be eligible for input nor output. Means even from the outside of this transformation, you cannot see this port. Okay, the reason is you cannot output this variable port. Okay, the only reason is so the temporary or like a staging, right? So variable ports are kind of a temporary or kind of a staging area. Okay, where you can perform some kind of a logic, and based on that, you are gonna derive in an output ports. Okay, maybe I can put it in a simple way. Now I'll show you the logic. Whatever I derived here, right? What I will do is Control X. I'll put it in the maybe with an age to cap, right? Now, what I'm going to do, just I'm making it as a staging area. Validate this and assign this age group to your output port. That is age group. Maybe you can ask like, why can't I do directly like in a output port itself? Yes, you can do, but that's the reason I said it's not the right example. But how to use of usage, I mean, how to do that usage of variable port is what I'm trying to explain here. What I'm doing here, first I'm deriving something and I'm trying to outputting something. Okay, that is the purpose of this one. But in the regular scenarios, what you are going to use is First derive something once and use it in multiple places. Okay, not only like one group, one area. Any questions now? Even now, try to observe. Will you able to see that where port? Nowhere, right? You cannot see that where port over anywhere in this expression. Only when you open that expression, only you will see that. Get it? This one? Fine. Now, let's move on, guys. Now I'm trying to put all these things in a separate file. Okay. Now, see, this is a kind of a creation of a file dynamically, guys. Just I clicked on this one and I made it as a kind of a flat file. But like to make this as a proper flat file, this is only shortcut, guys. Okay, if you really understood, that's really good because it's kind of a dynamically creating the things. Okay, to do the debugging easily, because I don't want to build the temporary tables on Vinita systems now. The database type, I have to change it as a flat file. Apply. Okay. Even I'm changing the name. How many of you are understanding this, what I'm doing? Say this. Guys, any questions, any confusions, what I'm doing right now? You all are in mute. If you want to talk, you can unmute. Now, if not, then I'll move on, guys. Now the next thing is we have to see the filter transformation, right? So this is what the filter, basically the filter transformation is used to filter out the records. So either you can get it from here or you can go to the transformations. Filter is pretty much simple. Okay, you need not to do you need not to worry much about the filter transformation. The only reason is, okay, so the filter transformation is only used in the case where you need this, okay, in the middle of the mapping. Okay, because normally by using source qualifier, you can only filter out the records only for the relation objects. If I open this thing, right, I cannot do anything for this one. I do have filter option. Okay, if you read this thing, right, so but it's disabled. Any operation, right, like whatever is listed here is not applicable for flat files. Okay, only data types conversion is only applicable. That's it. Okay, the rest of everything is not applicable. In those scenarios, I need to use the filter transformation. Hope you understand this point, what I'm saying. Now, just try to get the things into the next transformation. Okay, so I'm not taking this first name and last name, guys. Try to understand why. Because those are only input ports for now. Even the age group and age. So you don't see that variable put anywhere, okay, in this name column, right? So you don't see anywhere. The only reason is it's a variable port, it's not visible to the outside. Now, the next thing, open the filter transformation and try to put a filter. If I don't put any filter, normally what happens, it will evaluate to true. Everyone, I mean, whatever is coming through this filter transformation, right, everything will pass. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to put a filter here. Okay, where, okay, the age group equals to, and always remember, it's a very case sensitive. Okay, so whatever the logic I gave, right, so engage only young people I'm trying to bring into my target. Okay, because I'm deriving this age group in my expression transformation, I'm trying to use that one here. So here I define that young age. Just make sure, yeah, even it's kind of a case sensitive, even one letter or like a even like if it's a small case when you are using in the condition uppercase, right, again it's not going to work out. So always make sure of that point. So that is what my filter condition. Other than that, filter transformation will not have anything to showcase. Okay, So no other properties except that one. Now try to load this data into your file. So now see, whenever you're doing this bulk operation, right, or like maybe multiple things, just randomly check, am I doing the right thing or not? How? Select the link path and forward. It will show you to which one it has been connected. Okay. Okay, for example, I'm here. Okay, address, right? I want to see how it has been connected in my entire flow forward. This is how it's connected. Okay, even you can do that from source also. Okay, this is a part of sanitary testing what you can do. Now let's check out the age, how it's been diverted. Guys, all these are kind of a development logics, or not a logic, I can say it's a kind of the things which will make your life easy. So ages came up to here, but from here onwards, it went into the output port, and from the output port, again, you connect to the age group, and from there it's continued. So this is the kind of a flexibility what you can have in the, while doing the development part. Now it's clear, right? So I populated everything here, just save it. Now I'm trying to build the session. Even I'll try to show you one thing today. One more shortcut. I believe I already showcased this, but still, from the design itself, I can build the workflow. Generate workflow. So the naming conventions, I just want to leave as it is. So now it's been created. Now go back to your workflow manager. Only one additional thing I have to do. I need to build that connection, guys. So this workflow is created here. Okay. Now you're supposed to build a source and target connections for this one. So as both are flat files, right? So what I have to do, I only need to mention the directory. But this is where I'm a little bit doubted. The reason is there is a space in Vinuta's machine name. Now here the actual things comes into the picture. So I've been talking about indirect load, right? So you have to choose the kind of a load type as indirect load. So source file type is indirect. Okay, and the flat file name also, the source file name, I cannot mention the central because I need to mention the flat file, actual flat file, what we built with the what I can say with the file paths. Let me go to that. That is customer underscore list. Okay, customer underscore list. So here, dot line. Okay, and that is for source, right? Even for the target also, you have to build the same way. Because for headers, I didn't put any headers. I'm asking like output field names and the directory, right? So what is the directory? Again, you have to get the same directory what is listed here. Now run this one. So this session got succeeded. Now I want to see the results. close this. Now total how many records got processed? From the source, I'm getting 6184 records, but I got only 422 records. Why? Because the age, okay, because we choose that age as a kind of an engage, right? So the people who are like below 40 years, or like maybe I don't know what the logic I put it there. So those guys only came into the picture here. Okay, if you really want to see what exactly happened, now go to that target directory. Can you see this one? Indirect ff.out. This is what the file which got generated now. So maybe we could have bring that age also, so that like it's clearly visible, but that's okay. So whatever you can see here, right? Everything is like engage. Okay, in each and every record. Other than that, you didn't see anything else. Okay. Let me get my charger. Just a sec. So any questions, guys, on this one? Tim, can you hear me?
So Chaitanya, in
Mhm.
while writing decode condition, we give like engage and middle age. So if in case I add old age also,
Mhm.
so 3 cases, right? Engage, middle age, old age. So I want both engage and old age. Then how we can write? How we can filter? I want both engage and middle age. Then what is the condition?
Okay, good question. See, even your filter condition allows you to write like a logical operators. Okay, like this one. Or the same thing. Age group, middle age. Okay, so you do have this option. So you can put the or condition, or maybe depends on your scenario. You can put the and condition. Does that make sense? Is that what
Yeah.
you're expecting?
now it will bring like either it's a middle age or engage. Yes, can we move on? Okay, fine. So I'm going back to my screen. Okay, let me share my screen now. Any other question, Shirisha, on that one?
No, Chaitanya.
Okay, perfect. Now let's move the next transformation. Maybe I'll go with the router, or like maybe even I can go with the joiner. But like guys, now we are entering into a different mode. Okay, so where you need to understand the things and where you have to practice for sure. Okay, because these are kind of a little bit complex compared to other transformations. Okay, now let's understand. I'm sorry, guys. Let me. Let me discuss about the joins today. What do you mean by join? Anyone can answer? Basically, joining means in the relational databases, right? Normally, what happens? First of all, what is the relational databases? What is the difference between database and relational database? The difference is in the database, regular database is only used to store the data. Okay. In the retrieval perspective, you have to consider each and every table as an individual unit, or every table is kind of a standalone table. But coming to RDBMS, Relation Database Management System, right? So where every table is connected, means you can bring the data by putting these two tables or like three tables together and bring the data from multiple tables. So that is what called a join. When it comes to joins, right? Like there are two different kind of a joins. One is homogeneous and second one is heterogeneous. Whatever we are doing as part of that source qualifier transformation, right? Basically, it's a homogeneous joins. The reason is if by using source qualifier, you can join only the instances from the same database. Okay, but by using joiner, if I want to do any kind of a join between a database as well as a flat file, or if I want to join one database, okay, from another database, okay, it's not going to be possible by using a source qualifier. But whereas by using a joiner, you can definitely do that part. There is a reason we'll call it as a heterogeneous joins. If you are good at database concepts, right? So in the Oracle or like any database side, so you will see like a left join and right join, or like left outer join or right outer join. The reason is when you are trying to bring the data in a different perspectives, like first I want to get all the details from table A, okay, or which is the kind of a left side table, okay, and I want to get only matching records from the right table. I can definitely explain this with a better example in Excel, but like first we'll try to understand what exactly the joins in available in a Informatica. Same way, like whatever you've seen in database, right? The same way here also we are having, but here we are not going to call them as a left table or right table. We are going to call them as a master table and detail table. So whenever you're doing a master outer join, right? So what exactly going to happen? You are going to get all the records from the detail table and matching records from the master. It's a little bit different compared to your database. So database left outer join means you're going to get like all the records from the left table and matching records from the right table. But here, whenever I'm saying it's a master outer join, in the opposite way, you are going to get all the records from the detail table and only matching records from the master table, or maybe you can put in this way also. For example, I'm doing a master outer join. What exactly you are going to get? I am getting the matching records from the master table and all the records from the detail table. Okay, so how you are going to perform this thing? Okay, so basically for the joiner transformation, you're supposed to use a kind of a join condition. For that reason, okay, the condition is kind of a mandatory. Without join condition, you cannot perform the join transformation. And the basic information about the join, it's an active or passive. What exactly you can think of? It's an active transformation. Right. The reason is you're combining two things and getting the more data, right? Or maybe sometimes less data, but ultimately it's an active transformation. So by using a joiner, as I mentioned earlier, you can join two instances from a flat files, or like you can join two instances from a different kind of databases or anything.
Okay, there is no limitation, but maybe performance or like maybe kind of a limitation perspective, what you can think of is by using join, I can only join 2 tables at a time or 2 instances at a time. That's it. I cannot join 3. Okay, but what you have to do if you want to join 3, basically you have to join first 2, then join the result with the next one. So that's how you have to proceed. Now, how many different kinds of joins in join transformation? Basically, you're having 4 different kinds of joins. One is normal join, just will work like an equi join. And next one is a master outer join. It is just like a left outer join. And detail outer join, it's just like a right outer join. And the full outer join. Full outer join means like you are going to get everything. It's not like there are no restrictions at all. Any questions, guys?
No, Chaitanya.
So yeah, so as I mentioned, right, like normal means it's only based on the condition you'll get the records. Master outer join means it keeps all the rows from the detail in the kind of when I'm saying master, just think of the detail. You'll get all the records from detail, only matching from the master. Okay, when I'm saying detail, right, detail outer join, only matching records from the detail table, all the records from the master. Okay, and for the full outer join, all the records. Now try to observe. Of course, here it's not mentioned, but a couple of things in the joiner. Performance wise, right? So whenever you are sending the data to a joiner transformation, always make sure your data is sorted. Sorted means first you have to sort the data. What's going to happen? Okay, what's going to happen if I'm sorting without sorting the data? I'm sending the data to joiner transformation. Basically, your joiner transformation is going to fail. Okay, basically, your joiner transformation is going to fail. The reason is you are without sorting the data. Okay, without sorting the data, when I'm selecting that option, I'm sorry, let me take it back. It will be failed only when you select this option, sorted input option. Can you see this one? For example, I selected this option, but I am not sorting the data before coming to this join transformation. Obviously, your job is going to fail. Okay, the reason is joiner transformation assume the data is sorted, but you are not sorting it. Okay, then obviously the kind of logic will not work. Anyway, we will see that when we are doing that lab part, but try to understand for the performance sake, okay, always try to use kind of a sorted data while processing the joiner transformation. Okay. And there is one more performance tuning thing on the like which one to choose master and which one to choose the detail. So try to Google it and try to answer that because that's going to be a part of your form for tomorrow. Any questions till now?
No.
Now, guys, the next lab is stage underscore product and sales transaction. We have to put it in the stage transactions. So what I can do is like maybe I can stop it here. Okay, so because I want you to practice first the basic mappings. Okay, the basic transformations or anything, right? Because I don't want to jump in onto the complex part because joiner is a really complex part. From the joiner, right, everything is related to a kind of a logic. Okay, and expression, all these things, okay, so all are mentioned in the expression header only. Okay, and if you look at the left side, right, all the functions are listed. Okay, only you have to use like existing one, but joiner is not like that. You need to understand a lot of things when you're working on joins. Like you need to understand the business scenario, which join you have to use. Okay, either left or right, or just a normal join, or full outer join. So there are like so much analysis is needed. Okay, in terms of understanding the concept. So that's the reason before even go to that one, first of all, you need to familiarize with the tool. Okay, where to click, where to execute, how to see the data, all these things you have to get familiarized. Please try to use today and tomorrow and try to come up with a kind of a fresh brains for the joiner transformation. Okay, so I did mention a kind of a theoretical part for the joiner, but like there is a lot of things you have to practice on joiner as well. Okay, will you able to come back with a source qualifier, expression transformation, file list? Is that okay, guys? Only 3 simple things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? If not, we can wind it up. And today I'm going to office, okay, in Amirpet. If anyone having any questions or anything, right, please reach out there.
Can I get the previous recordings access, Chaitanya?
Yeah, please log into the YouTube. Okay. So let me- all the recordings and everything is out there.
Okay.
Just subscribe to this channel. Let me see. Or maybe today also I sent that form, right? You can open that YouTube and you can see. Okay. So you do have like all the recordings here.
Okay. Your channel name is We Learn Guru only.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for your time. So we'll catch up again on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Monday at what time?
7:30 same, our regular time.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.